Was good? RELL's movie just dropped, and in this video I will be telling you everything that was shown in the movie in less than 10 minutes because the movie is an hour long. But before I get into that, I just want to say that we are so close to hitting 1k subscribers, so then I can actually start earning stuff from making these videos that I spend 3 hours after school making. So if you did subscribe, it would be very helpful. If you want to stay up to date with all RELL's news and just anything else I post, really. But on from that, the first thing that was shown in this movie was the menu screen, which was incredibly cool. It was like this fight scene. I'm not sure what these other options are, but it seems they select the ship one, and this customization, I mean, wow, does it look great. You can do body traits, race, like you don't have to actually roll a race, you can just choose one, and that is way better. And there's like face traits like face, hair, beard, mouth, scar, eye color, color of your clothes, really just everything. And then they're talking about like pick locking and pick locking chests and all of that. Then they get on to fishing, which the fishing in this game looks really good. Then there is a stat point system, which has endurance, health, defense, spiritual, whatever that means, willpower, which is really cool, and luck. I wonder how that plays in. Another thing that's really cool is the towns are fully decked out. Like you can go in like a blacksmith, a fishing place, a bar, and the blacksmith, if anyone out there has played Grounded, in Grounded, how you make weapons like this, I think it was the Black Widow dagger. You had to kill the Black Widow and get her fangs, and so this he's basically explaining, saying that like certain wild beasts in the game, like animals, you got to defeat and get like their teeth or just any item they drop to craft stuff, which is in my opinion incredibly cool. And then we have like these 4 enchants you can put on weapons, which is fire enchant, ice enchant, poison enchant, and sea stone enchant. And it says, he says every time you upgrade your weapon, you're gonna have to like use another set of materials to upgrade it again, so you're gonna have to go around like the whole map finding them, which is a really cool way of progressing, which I love. And then he goes on about blueprints, which sea beasts mainly drop blueprints, which is like adding wings onto your ship, like different armor sets, which honestly is really cool. Blueprints from sea beasts is a good idea. And he says that a lot of items are unlocked from blueprints, and then once you get the blueprints, you can like craft all these secret hidden items. And then he says if you want to become a 5-star chef on your boat, like a restaurant, that is possible due to the blueprints and just the ship customization, which I'll get into. And then he says that another thing with the blueprints, I'm guessing, is unlocking like different cooking recipes. So like your specific restaurant can sell different recipes than other restaurants. He also says you can drop bags in front of players and you can sell like rare items, like I don't know, defeating a sea beast and like getting blueprints, or like selling like just materials really for money. And then he says that with your clothing you can like customize the color and everything with the clothing. And then there's also your crew, which you can select your crew colors and you can just set your clothes to be your crew colors, which is really cool. And then they basically go on about the mounts and spawning in mounts, which honestly, I'm not a big fan of the mounts. I find them a bit gimmicky. Like, come on man, I can just walk there, but I will show it on screen. And then they show how like the wild animals react to getting hit, like they run away, which this is a cool feature, adds to the whole like immersive feeling. Then they showcase some of the weapons in the game and some of the like combat, which the combat feels kind of delayed, but I really can only say once I've actually played the game. So yeah. Then they basically just show a lot of the different weapons and the animations of the weapons. And then they show this really cool thing like executions, which if you're sneaking behind an NPC or a player, you can like do an execution, which is a really cool animation. And this one, so far, the whole sneak is my favorite one, which is the boat customization. They show some of the cooking in like a boiling pot. They also say that this is for like the solo players or just the like limited like crew players. Apparently you can defeat crews and like take their crew members for your own ship. which I'll be showing later on. And what I love about the ships in this game is the fact that like it's so customizable. Like with blueprints, you can get furniture to put on your boat, like creating a crew as well, like naming the crew. And if you don't even have an ID, you can just make one with its like inbuilt like crew symbol maker. And then there's crew colors, and you can set all the colors for the clothing of your crew, which is a really neat feature. Now the boat part is amazing. There's 3 different ships. There's a sloop, the caravel, and the brigade, which apparently each ship will have its own like ship stats and changing the different decks and rears. And it's pretty cool how the different ship customization affects the ship stats overall. So you can change the different fronts of the ships to like one with a like double-decker deck, or one with like, you know, just really lots of different options to choose from. Like ones with a ram on the front, ones with cannons on the front. You can also choose different rears, like open balconies, closed in like 2-story, like, you know, just interiors. You can even change the different decks on the ship. You can change the different flag types, the middle, front, rear, different flags. On top of that, also being able to add furniture. You can also like make the boat out of different materials, different colors. Like your boat could be like, I don't know, like just iron rimmed and then have like red wood. It can literally just be anything. It looks like there's also ship perks. Then with the crafting recipes, you can craft like cannons, you can craft like different like statues on the front of your ship, which is really cool. I'm guessing you get those with blueprints. You can craft like, so it's steam powered at the back. You can see they put a figurehead on the front. It's the ship spawning is pretty cool. You have this like ship in a bottle icon in your inventory, which you just place and a whirlpool shows up and the ship just like comes out of the water somehow. The game also has anchors, so you can like park your boat, a lot like Sea of Thieves. Apparently people can steal your boat and you can't just like call it back. You're gonna have to chase them for your boat back. But if you anchor your boat down, apparently that's like impossible to do for someone to take your boat, so just anchor your boat down. Also the water and the wave animations look fire. And then they also show that like the boat is moving and they're jumping, but they're not being like blown off the boat, which I like more than I don't like, if that makes sense. There's a lot more positives in that than negatives. Negatives are it doesn't really look realistic that they're like fighting midair and they're not like being pushed back, but at the same time it makes ship combat a lot better, like jumping onto someone's boat and not having to worry about flying off. And then they're comparing it to other games, saying that like every other game, no other game has this kind of like mechanic movement. I love how the sails move through the wind as well. It reminds me a lot of Sea of Thieves. And a cool feature that they have is that you can see with like other games like Blox Fruit or any Roblox games with ships that you have to be driving it and pushing it forward for it to move, which is not like any ship in real life because they're powered by wind and the sails. But in this game, you can just get off the steering wheel and it will still keep going straight ahead, which is really cool. Apparently there's different like water zones, like there's a tsunami zone, which your ship will get damaged over time. So I'm guessing a shipwright on your boat will be very helpful. They also did mention earlier on in the video that there's like a utility item, which has just a bunch of utility tools like a pickaxe, an axe, a fishing rod, and like a repair hammer for your ship. Something else with the progression is you can like level up, which they show the talent mastery, which is fishing, woodcutting, cooking, mining, shipwright, crafting, thieving, and navigation. There's character grade and then there's character reputation, which all of those are really cool for like an overall character mastery. And that combined with the fact that you can have 3 character slots is really good. It's like one of them you can be a marine, one of them you can be like a solo pirate, and one of them you can just have like a crew with your friends. And honestly, all of these like talent masteries kind of remind me of RuneScape. Even though I've never played it, I still know what the menu looks like. So it just reminds me of that a lot. So it seems like there's going to be a lot of things we can work towards was in this game. They're comparing the boat like cannon fighting combat to Assassin's Creed Black Flag, which I honestly haven't played, but I do really like this cannon firing system. It's not like you're forced to shoot straight, you can actually aim where your cannon is firing. They also say a really cool feature. Like, they say that in their vision, they do not want a devil fruit to outbeat a ship. Like, they say that they do not want people to go from one island to another with just light fruit or just flame. They want you to use a ship. They also say that if someone was like in dragon form versing a ship, they're saying that the cannons on your ship would do more damage than the person in dragon form. They're saying that they want ship combat to be more powerful than devil fruit combat. So they don't want devil fruits to be overpowered. They just want it to be like an addition onto combat, which I really like. They also say they want you to stay in a pirate-like feeling the whole time. Then they showed the ramming system, which the ramming system is kind of like pretty trolly. Like in Sea of Thieves, ramming was the funniest thing ever. Like your whole boat would just rock to the side if you were rammed side on. It was funny as... They're saying they want the ship combat to compare to Sea of Thieves, which I love the animation and just the overall impact that happens when a ship is hit by cannonballs in this game. It is just amazing. But the whole like repairing and damaging system kind of confused me, because he's saying that like once you hit a spot, you want to keep hitting it again because there's like multiplying damage, which is like yellow, orange, and red, and they keep going up 1 times, 2 times, and 3 times damage when you hit them again. And like the places that were hit, there's no like holes and no waters like seeping in. He's kind of just hitting a hammer on nothing really, which I think they could like add some sort of hole to make it a lot easier. And then he's like saying this is the best ship combat that he's ever seen on Roblox before, which is a very bold claim, which could just stir up some controversy, but he said it. And then it seems like out of the blue, just a random event that a Kraken attacked the dude ship, which the Kraken event did look really cool. And then to finish it off, they basically go over that like basically if a marine catches you or you like do damage to civilians or you just do something, then there's 3 different levels of like imprisonment. So the first level is the waiting level, the second level is the mining level, and then the third level is impel down, which I love those systems. So I'm guessing if you've been like caught once, you go into waiting. If you're caught a second time, you go into mining, and if you're caught a third time, you go down to impel down. And it seems you can get arrested by the NPCs and the Marines. And to end it off, they basically say that like every building in RELL Seas, they want to focus on interiors. Like they don't want buildings to just feel like simulator type, like just background buildings. They want them to actually be buildings that you can walk in, see the interiors and everything. And then at the very end, they walk into a bar, which the bar looks really good in my opinion. Like they've sold me on the whole pirate experience feeling thing. Then they said that the next movie 2, they will focus on the devil fruits and showing the different abilities, which that one I'm honestly really excited for. And this movie overall showed us a lot of good things, like progression and everything. Honestly, this is really good that this wasn't a letdown. This actually was great non-linear progression. They kept their word to it. And I don't know when movie 2 is coming out, but movie 2 will show devil fruits, improved like sound effects, abilities, which I will make a video on. And honestly, that is really, that's what I really want to see next. But overall, this game does look like it will live up to its hype. Hopefully this game lives for more than like 2 months. Hopefully it lives forever because it seems like great fun. But until next time, see ya.